Ambassador David Newton is currently an adjunct scholar at the Middle East Institute. He returned to the United States at the end of 2004 after having served for 6 years in Prague as the first director of Radio Free Iraq. Shortly before that appointment, he had retired from a 36-year foreign service career. Having served as ambassador in Yemen from 1994 to 1997, and as the first ambassador to Iraq from 1984 to 1988, following the resumption of diplomatic relations. During his foreign service career, Ambassador Newton received a Presidential Meritorious Service Award for his Iraq assignment, numerous Department of State awards, and the Department of the Army Medal for Outstanding Civilian Service. He currently serves on the Rumi Forum's Advisory Board. Please make welcome Ambassador Newton for our closing remarks.
Well, thank you very much. I'm lucky they didn't read the whole thing because I've also been around a long time. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of inspiring talks tonight and many interesting discussions. I certainly have. I'm not too old to learn. And I really appreciated hearing it, but I'm going to try to be brief because I'm the last speaker, and I'm sure you would also always like to get home early. I've had a long time love affair with the Middle East, with Islam, starting at age 11 through my own studies in Islamic history. But I only fairly recently came to understand the Gülen movement and what the amazing changes that have taken place in Turkey. In my own life, I served 21 years in the Arab world, such peaceful countries including Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, and Yemen, more peaceful than Saudi Arabia. You could see what success I had as a diplomat. And I spent 15 years in Washington, almost all of it, working on the Near East, and observed a lot of hatred, many acts of terrorism, and not a few wars. I came to realize that tolerance, I would call, is the mother of all virtues, because tolerance requiring dialogue, because without tolerance we cannot possibly try to achieve such things as democracy and human rights, because it requires respect for the person and respect for the ideas of the person. These are really key values for us as Americans, but most of all, tolerance is required for peace. And tonight we have seen the honoring of a number of remarkable individuals who well deserve the awards that they have received. I also became familiar with Jalaluddin Rumi. It's a natural for me because I'm a Unitarian. We even have a hymn which simply repeats the words of Jalaluddin Rumi, "Come, all of you, come." And it's really a struggle, I think, even in Washington, to try to make people understand moderation in Islam. We are so overrun with terrible stories about killing and all kinds of violence that we forget that the great majority of Muslims are peaceful people. This is true even in the Arab world. This touches all of us who served in the Foreign Service. I spent almost all my career in the Near East Bureau. We have just lost a very fine ambassador in Libya. He, in fact, is the 5th ambassador who was killed, who was from the Near East Bureau, along with 2 deputy chiefs of mission. So we have a real problem with violence in the world. And I think it is incumbent on all of us to do everything we can, because hatred and intolerance are not something that should just be fought for noble purposes, but because hatred kills. And it has killed not only, in this case, some American diplomats, but more important for the world, it is killing thousands and thousands of Muslims, of innocent Muslims. I think the Muslim world, especially in the Arab world, also in Southeast Asia, is really in a struggle not only to define itself and the way it wishes to be governed, but to define its relationship to the rest of the world. And I think there is hardly a more important moment for all of us than to try to spread the understanding between the West and Islam, and look for such remarkable movements as the service movement or the Gulen movement, which of course has transformed much in Turkey, but has now moved beyond the borders of Turkey into the rest of the Muslim world, and even as we heard, and as I think you know, the movement even has schools in the United States of the very highest standard of education, but also promoting tolerance and understanding. So I very much appreciate that I was able to take part in this evening. I'm sure you all do, and I wish you a good evening.
On behalf of the Rumi Forum, I would like to thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We hope you all enjoyed the evening's program, and we look forward to hosting you again. I wish you all a safe journey home and a good night. Thank you.